Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface and welcome back to this McLaren career on Motorsport Manager. We are one day away from the Guildford Grand Prix, obviously the British Grand Prix. This obviously simulates Silverstone. It looks like the rain's going to stay away for once at the British Grand Prix. It's an 18 lap race, very high tyre wear, so we've got to look after them. Mail, we've got a vote starting. It is on pre-distributed tyre compounds. So if this goes through next year, we won't be able to pick tyre compounds. It'll be predetermined before the race. There's Christian Horner against at the moment. We looks like we've got Renault, Force India, and a few for it. We're just going to abstain because it doesn't really affect me either way. I'm not really bothered about the pre-distributed tyre compounds. It looks like the vote's going 4-4-4, and there we go. So next year we are going to have pre-distributed tyre compounds, which means we will no longer be able to choose what tyres we have before the race. And Toto Wolff, he no voted as well. Yeah, so that has gone through. Chase Carey confirming that. We've got financial management concerns again from Zach Brown. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost in the green again. Even though we're building new parts, we're building a new gearbox. It's not a part that's going to really go in the car. Which is, oh, this one might do. This one just might go in the car. But we're sort of concentrating on the parts that are going to build the basis for next year's car. That's what we're doing at the moment. We've got 2 scouting reports back. We've got Zoo back. He's got really good potential. Maybe we can get him in as our reserve driver next year. Maybe we can get him in as our reserve. And then we've got Alex Lynn as well currently with Virgin Racing. Radio Shy, decent potential. Marketability not where we would exactly want it to be. We did have this sponsor come through, and as you can see, we've got Gitanes, who, if you will remember, they used to be on the Ligier Formula 1 team. If it was a blue car, wasn't it? Big white writing down the side. Ligier, back in Formula 1. We've got a French cigarette company on our rear wing. Yes, French cigarette company. And we've got these two coming up after this race, so we should be able to get these 2 5-star sponsors level as well. We've got a 3 and a 4, so hopefully we can improve upon this. Obviously with this middle one, this slot 3, this is the one that always offers you the bonus money for first place, so it's more about the upfront payment. We managed to get an amazing 2 million. It says it's located in Sweden there, but I'm sure it's a French cigarette company. No, that name Viking, that must be the yeah, that must be what the sponsor is in the base game. It's just the image that's changed, yeah. So that's why. But the 2 million upfront payment did do a lot for us. It's got us almost back into the green. So after this race, we'll be in the green for possibly, it won't be the first time this season we will be in the green. Car-wise, we've got the gearbox, as we said. So we'll skip ahead now to the beginning of the Guildford Grand Prix. Reliability work complete. We've got factory stuff idle now. We don't really have a lot to work on here anymore. There's a few bits and bats that we can sort of upgrade on this car, but it's not going to take any time at all. Let's just concentrate on getting everything fully reliable. And we've got a part missing for Button's car because obviously we had the gearbox ban last time after managing to get it through 2 races. So we do need to replace that. We're going to go 10th because we were more back to normal last time, so hopefully we can pick up the 1.3 from this level. We usually go 8.43, sometimes go 7.53, but I'm guessing that we can get, it's either going to be a one-stop strategy on a soft and super soft, or go all the race on the super soft. We need to put a new gearbox in here for Jensen Button. Obviously he's going from an 894 down to an 804, so a big drop there. Whereas we have these 2 new brake parts that are now able to go in the car. We'll give Alonso the best one since he's equal status. Jensen Button's number 2. He's not losing any morale from the setup at the moment, whereas Fernando Alonso's gaining 18% at the moment. Wanting to keep him happy, we want to get Alonso another title at some point, so hopefully he stays with us next season and the season after, and by that point we might be able to just about get that done. Yeah, so that's the car setup now, sponsor setup. So we'll run practice, we skip practice, we'll come back when it's time to sim qualifying, that's the word I'm looking for. We'll come back at that point and then we'll get straight into the race from there. So here we go with qualifying. Hopefully we can get both cars into the top 10 once again. That would be the aim. We've had it for the last couple of races, and Button pretty far down after the first lap there. What has happened to Button here? Is that just because of the gearbox? Is it? Is he coming back out? He's going back out for another lap. Ah no, Button way down the order here in 18th. That is pretty surprising. I don't know what actually happened to Jenson Button there in qualifying, but that's the run of our top 10 finishes in qualifying out for both cars. I think it lasted 2 races. Alonso 7th, that's pretty decent. That's where we want to be with Alonso's car. And as usual, we've got both Renaults out. We take the place of one of the Toro Rossos, which is usually in the bottom. But both Toro Rossos have moved up a little bit. We've got 11th and 12th now. The Sauber's a little bit further down, and both Haas's out as usual. So it's just all on Fernando Alonso here. So we need him in the top 10 shootout, and it looks like it's raining. Full rain here for... The forecast said dry weather. But Alonso's got himself into 5th before any of the things. So everyone's getting out on a dry tyre. Alonso's managed to get out on a dry tyre as well, so he should improve. Just scrapes through there at the last second into 9th place and almost got cut out. And we've got Kvyat, Sainz, Perez and Ericsson. So one of the Force Indies out. These, it couldn't get back out to set a time on the dry tyre. So we've got a Sauber into the top 10 shootout. Is that for the first time this season? Pascal Wehrlein gets into the top 10. Pascal Wehrlein probably our long-term target to take over from Button, or maybe Alonso. We get both Toro Rossos out, both Force Indias out, which is a good result for us. Force India had a really good race last race. Ocon actually won the last Grand Prix. Perez finished 4th, which replicated our result from the race before, where Alonso came first. Button came 4th, so let's just see what Alonso can do here. The computer doesn't usually do too good a job of looking after their tyres, and look, Stroll doesn't have any super softs, and we've got rain. We've got rain again. It said it was going to be dry this weekend, but we've got rain. Alonso, meanwhile, he got out. He did his on. He's a long way behind because he was on a dry tyre on a wet track. We're going to be able to get back out again, it looks like. Yes, we're just going to be able to. We've used a lot of super soft tyres up here. I hope we've got enough left for the race. Alonso finishes 7th. Sauber, Wehrlein up into 8th. And then we've got 2 Williams in 9th and 10th. Obviously, they didn't have their super soft tyres left. I think they go a little bit under. They always underestimate what they're going to use out of the super softs. And 117, so not much variation there from Alonso. 117, 459 would have got him up into 6th if he could have done as he did here. Obviously, I'm guessing that is because the track it didn't have the same grip as it did in Q1. So let's get set up for the race now. We'll just pick super. Let's go ahead and look at the tyres, what we've got. Button, we can one-stop this race. I believe we can actually try and one-stop this race. I'm guessing it said it was going to be sunny for the race, but or cloudy. There might be a chance of rain. We'll try and go as long as we can on this medium tyre. We don't actually have a boost for the medium tyre. Or could we do it on 2 sets of could we do it on 2 sets of soft? Where am I going? Or would that be 9, 8? It would just be there, wouldn't it? It would just be there, but we know temperature's pretty low. Might be a little bit too hard hanging on to them, but maybe we can go soft. And then if we can't quite get to it, then we can go medium to do the one stop. We can try as much as we can to do it on a one stop, whereas we've got 3 laps on this super soft tyre that Alonso's on. So we're going to do super soft. We might be able to do it on 2 stops with Alonso and go super soft, super soft, super soft. Whereas obviously we want this soft boost now for Jenson Button. We don't want to push his tyres too much, so we'll just do this from the start. Actually, we won't even push it all out from the start. Here we go, the 2 Mercedes on the front row of the grid. As we have learned, the Mercedes have pretty poor reliability. We can't actually see the start line there. Right, so Alonso slow off the line, beaten by Wehrlein, and then that's one of the Williams is that Felipe Massa. It is. Alonso drops down to 9th place. Button, meanwhile, moving up the order. He's got a Renault in front of him of Nico Hulkenberg. And now one of the Force Indias has dropped down the order. Ocon having a terrible start. It doesn't look like he's been hit or anything, just a terrible start from Esteban Ocon. Alonso, meanwhile, is still in 9th place. We just need to look after these tyres of Button. I'm not bothered about him being too cold. And Alonso trying to battle with the Red Bulls there. Can he get Verlaine there? He can. And he gets the Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo as well. Massa made an absolute brilliant start, but it looks like Alonso's going to try pull him in here. We don't want to go too high with these, do we? Let's use the boost for button, can we? Is everyone going to use their boost here, aren't they? Alonso uses his boost and it gets him past Massa just enough, but Massa saved his boost there. He's going to be able to get this position back at some point, I would guess, when he goes ahead and uses his boost. But meanwhile, we have him up into a 15th place, and we just really need to watch these tyres. Whereas now we can sort of turn down with Alonso. We've got the tyres up to temperature. Starting to recover some battery. We're pulling away from Felipe Massa. We are. Every car in front, we've got the 2 Ferraris and the 2 Mercedes in front of us. So we're not going to waste anything. You know, we've got a yellow flag. That's Ericsson crashed. No safety car. We might even have to come in at the end of this lap. I doubt we're going to get another lap out of these super soft tyres. We've gone from 35. Yes, we are, aren't we? We're going to have to get in pretty early here. At the end of lap 3, there's no way we can get any more out of these tyres. So 6, that'll get us to 12. So 12, that won't get us anywhere near. We're going to have to go on a pair of softs and then finish on the super softs, aren't we? Alonso doesn't have the same tyre life. You can't get the same length of tyre as Button can. So we might undercut here. It might work out. It might just work out. We do have some battery to burn when we leave the pits, and we're going to have a nice clear track to work with as well. Button, meanwhile, is battling with both Force Indias here. They look like Williams and look like Mercedes. It's pretty confusing sometimes, because the Force Indias haven't switched to their pink livery in this game. And we're on the soft tyre, and we're going to boost here. We're going to push out of the pits. We can actually use this tyre up a little bit, can't we? So are we going to see Raikkonen come into the pits here? So has the undercut worked? It has, since we have to pit so early, and with a nice little bit of clear. Try and speak popular. Try and speak properly. As the undercut worked here. But meanwhile is in 14th. These tyres are getting cold, but everyone else's tyres are seemingly pretty cold as well, because we're keeping up with them. And we've got one of the Ferraris into the pit, and Raikkonen right on the back of him. So the undercut might have worked from I think Raikkonen was effectively was he? Yes, Raikkonen was leading the race, I believe. But meanwhile, we use his boost, see if we can keep him up with Ocon here. We're getting past Ocon. And what have we got? 7 laps to regain that, so we don't have to think about turning the fuel down just yet, or should we? No, we'll wait until all these other cars have come into the pits. We're keeping on the back of Raikkonen, and Alonso takes Raikkonen there. Brilliant, and we're going to try to cool these tyres down now. Everyone into the pits. So are we out in front of Hamilton? Nope, he hasn't pitted yet, or has he been in? Intermediate, there's the rain coming. There's rain coming. Oh no. There's rain coming. So that has messed up Button's one stopper. Alonso, meanwhile, has already been into the pits. What are we going to do with Alonso? Can we keep him out? Button, meanwhile, we can go for it with Button. We can push, can't we? Should we get him in for the Inter, since he does like changeable conditions? He's going to have to 2-stop now. He's Button have to try to hold on to the tyres. Alonso, meanwhile, should we pit him? He is in 10th at the moment. Effectively, no. Should we take the risk? We'll try and cover off. We'll see what Raikkonen's doing. But I'm guessing we can stay out if we wanted to. We're going to have a little bit of time where we're going to be quicker. Not long, admittedly, and it looks like the rain's going to stay, doesn't it? It looks like the rain is going to stay. There's a brief reprieve before it starts to get a little bit heavier. We'll keep Alonso out one more lap. It's going to wreck his race probably. Don't want him double stacking. Is Raikkonen staying out? Has Raikkonen hit the pits? No, Raikkonen's still out. Need to see what this weather is going to do. We're going to end up losing a lot of time. And what's Raikkonen doing there? He's flying, is Raikkonen. It's a bit damp out here. So we know that, Alonso, but unfortunately you're going to have to stay out for a little bit. And it looks like the rain is here to stay, so yeah, we're going to have to take it. We're going to have to come in for that pair of intermediate tyres. Ah, dear. Button, meanwhile, 18th place. Looks like yeah, it's going to stay, isn't it? Damn it. Damn it. There's a Button. Stuck behind Julian Palmer at the moment. Alonso in 10th. We haven't lost too much time. It doesn't look like going that extra lap. There we go. Oh, maybe we have lost a lot of time. Alonso is out behind Button. Right, just have to keep an eye out here. It's going to finish pretty soon. It's a rain. Just going to have to boost and hope for the best here. Right, we've got both cars outside the points. The rain just hit at the wrong time then. Just going to have to see what Alonso can do in getting himself back up the order. The rain is going to stop so we can actually just blast through this tyre. Even if we didn't, we'd have to stop again at some point, so we'll get Button doing the same. We don't have to think. Oh, we're on the border for recovering this fuel with Alonso though, so we have to go with that. We got a few in 8th and 9th. That is not too bad. If we can rescue something from this race, that would be amazing if that would happen. It looks like the rain. No, we've got heavier rain coming, and then it stops. More importantly, where are the Force Indias behind us? So Alonso's done 2 stops. We would be still pretty high up, wouldn't we? Saying it takes 25 seconds, we'd be really high up. Here we go, we've got this little period of heavier rain before it stops, and it looks like it's going to stay dry until the end of the Grand Prix then. Alonso is now right on the back of Button. Should we order Button to let him through? Because I'm guessing he's slowing Alonso down. Let him through. Because Button is about a second slower than Alonso. Although it looks like it's the other way around now. Is it just that Palmer's slowing us down? Come on, push you. Push that car, go on. Get him right. Now we can do it. I forgot we had the battery boost then. And we've got Palmer coming into the pits. We're going to push this as well. How quickly? It's going to take a few laps for this track to dry out, isn't it? So maybe we should... How quickly is this going to drop? Are we going to be able to get another lap in? We're going to have to pit 1. Is anyone else coming in? It doesn't look like anyone else is coming in this lap. How quickly is this? The intermediate loses its effective range about just there, doesn't it? No, it's still going to be rainy enough for another lap, but we don't want to double stack both cars. Is Alonso going to be able to get far enough ahead of Button that we don't quite double stack? And it looks like we could just about do it. About 3 seconds to change the tyres, hopefully. Yeah, let's get them both in this lap. What have we got left? 6 laps remaining, so we can go on for a nice fresh pair of super softs with 5 laps remaining. And the same for Jenson Button. He's got a lot of more life left in a pair of super softs as well. And we'll use that little bit of boost for Alonso, so hopefully he gets a nice 3-second gap over Jenson Button as they head into the pits. Hopefully there's no mistake here. In and a little bit of stacking. 6 seconds to change the tyres. 6 seconds and a mistake on Buttons. So Alonso is now back out into 12th place. He's one of the only cars to have dry tyres on, as is Jenson Button. We can let him push through these tyres a little bit longer. We need to sort of turn down Alonso at this point. Are we at a point where we're quicker than the other cars now as this track dries out? Can we go for a little bit on attack? For a lap at least, as we see these other cars start to... No, 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 they've stayed out. So are we starting again? Are we? 47. No, we're still falling behind the leaders here. And this should be the point where we start to gain now. 47. Can we pick up enough? Well, we're not going to pick up enough, but we should pick up enough where we can pass a few of them in the pits. And we need to start looking after this tyre a little bit now. And 4 laps... Yeah, we can't push the fuel load either, can we? Although we forgot to turn some button down, haven't we? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. 5... What have we got left? 5 laps remaining, 4 laps. We might just be able to get that back. From this point, might not. Fingers crossed. Here we go, we're seeing cars in the pits. Where is Alonso going to come back out now? 5th place, Alonso back out into 5th place. 3 stops done. And still in 5th place here. That is absolutely amazing. And Button, meanwhile, we have to sort of think about turning him down a tiny bit at the moment. Well, he's running in low mode, but we still getting it on the car behind Roman Grosjean in the Haas. He's losing ground at the moment. So we might just be able to recover the fuel. For Jensen, we just have to watch his tyres. We can keep him in high mode. Alonso 5.5. We're gaining on Max Verstappen here. We are on a quicker tyre. Although he should be on the quicker tyre towards the end of the race. 5th place, Hulkenberg behind, and Renault doing absolutely brilliant. Where are the force? My tyre deg is really bad. His tyres are really hot, aren't they? Turn them down, we'll push him. Grosjean behind. It's a long way to Bottas, but I'm guessing Bottas is going to be able to make up that distance. But more importantly, both Force India's all the way down here. I don't think we're going to be able to keep Button in the points. 2 laps remaining. I think he's going to run out of fuel as well at some point. We can't actually regain this fuel. 3.5 seconds now to Verstappen. It's going to stay dry. We're going to lose this 10th place of Button, aren't we? Wasn't paying attention to his fuel load. He's not going to be very happy with us, is he? Because they're all right behind him here. There goes Alonso onto his final lap now. We're not catching Verstappen at the same rate. But half a second, no chance of catching him. But this fuel now, there's no chance. But can we just hold on here? We can push this tyre. And then when we run out of fuel, we can use the boost, hopefully. That might just pick up what we're going to lose in pace from being low on fuel. 6, he's going to go here. And he's down to 11th already without the fuel going. As we knew Bottas had come back. Yeah, Bottas caught us at some point. But can we hold on to 11th place? Alonso gets 5th. The fuel has gone in Button's car. Push. No. No, come on. Come on. No, 14th place. That's not too bad. We wouldn't have got a point anyway. Obviously, it might push us a place down in the standings of what the chairman looks at. We'd left it 1 lap too late to turn him back down. Trying to pay too much attention to what Alonso was doing and trying to get him up into 5th. But getting Alonso into that position was more important than getting Button 11th or 14th. And he even did it on 3 tyre changes. Lifetime is a 120.7. The Mercedes really quick. So Mercedes, actually both cars in the points for a change. It's good to see. Red Bull, Sauber's, more importantly Force India's down there. That is what we like to see. We like to see the Force India's struggling because they're our main competitors. McLaren now will pull away from us. We've been keeping touch with them. They will be away in the distance now, it would seem. But they probably will falter again. They've had resurgences and they've had a couple of race wins, but then fallen away quite quickly after that. Jensen Button on 32. We've passed the 100-point mark easily. That was done last race, or the race before that even, so 118. So we've now got another buffer of 17 points to Force India. It could be all wiped away in a race again like it was last race. We're 1 point behind Williams. So maybe now we can try competing with Williams. Obviously Button's car is not the greatest at the moment. Maybe we should think about trying to build another part for this year and getting Button to compete. We don't want any illegal parts getting banned, so yeah, we came 5th overall. So the chairman happiness is 97%. If we can finish 5th again, we will be at 100% for the first time this season. Relationship with mechanic -12. Unhappy with that finish, but yeah, we made a mistake. We're cut to expecting to be unhappy. And yeah, so not bad overall. We should have the full bonus. So there we go, green for the first time since we started building that test track right at the beginning of this series. Matsushita winning F2 at the moment. Still says GP2 here. Who are winning? Arden have overtaken Russian time. So we'll be seeing Arden next year with Norman Nato and Galeo in Formula 1, it looks like. And GP3 is being led by Dragon Racing at the moment. Andretti. It's just like a mix of everyone there, isn't it? Some F3 teams. And anyway, let this game save. Let's go through the mail. Hamilton pit spot as car condition. The interview. You use team orders in the race, which is something that fans are not particularly keen on. Or we had to, otherwise Alonso would not have got 5th place. I feel it was justified, yeah, Alonso. Not unhappy with that. Hard fought win, and the new gearbox is finished. It is not the strongest of gearboxes. It's almost there, but it does. We can get it to 845, so it is quite a bit better, and it isn't banned. So this is going to be Button's part plus. It does have a plus 40 during qualifying, so it might get Button back up to his normal level in qualifying. As we can see, the test track has now been done. So for the end of the season, we need to fill that up with an average part. This one we can use a good part. A plus 50 we can get there. This one we can use we can use a great part in this one, so we can get the plus 60. This one we can use this one, and then we can use a random legendary. So we're going to get up to 813, and then hopefully with this adds a random legendary component, it's going to add a plus 90. So we should hopefully be over 900. We will be at least 863. And that one's a plus 65 on that, so we're going to be catching up. Still not the best of engines, but 863. What are we at the moment, engine wise? A 783. So we've got a lot of improvement that we can get before the end of the season. We could even build another. We don't know. We don't need to waste any money because we're sort of where we want to be. Because we can't do risky. That's not risky, is it? Good components take no time to build. Plus 10. Plus 10% reliability. A 743. Plus one of these. 800. No, we won't. I'll just try to think of giving Button a better engine, but maybe we'll do it. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see me give Jensen Button another engine before the end of the season, but it's going to cost a lot of money to do that, and we only want to do one more engine build before the end of the season and not waste too much money. But anyway, that's it for this episode. We're back with Spa next time, which is Ardennes in this game, the Belgian Grand Prix. But until next time, I will see you down the road for the Belgian Grand Prix, and goodbye.